as an FYI, there are White Lotus spoilers on the season 1 of White Lotus, season 2 of White Lotus, and season 3 of White Lotus through episode 5. So if you have not watched any of those, don't listen for,
I don't know.
We don't know how many minutes this is going to be yet, but just skip ahead. Thanks. Bye. Hi, this is Carrah.
And this is KT,
Welcome back to Life in the Party,
your unofficial guide to growing up and having fun.
We thought it would be fun to kick off this episode talking a little bit about White Lotus. By the time this comes out, it will be a little bit of old news, but we're also going to share some predictions.
Yes, this will be dropping before the last episode airs, so we'll figure out if we're right or not.
And we just finished watching episode 5, right?
Yeah, the full moon party 1.
Okay, Katie, what were your thoughts on that episode? And maybe just in general.
Well, walking into this episode, I was like, I know something's gonna go down.
Something's afoot.
Something is afoot. I don't want to say I'm surprised by the brother kiss just because of the like I remember seeing stuff about it, it's like, oh, there's sexual tension, incest all over Twitter. So I was just like, okay, like I guess I wouldn't be surprised. But the fact that like in that first episode or something, when the brothers were sharing the room and they were just kind of like so free with their sexuality in a way, I was like,
when the older brother was like naked going into the bathroom and the younger brother was watching.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just sort of like,
Yeah. Did you react to the kiss?
I think it was just like they're drugged up and these two girls are like, do it. I could tell like the older one was just sort of like, ugh, but the younger one was just like, whatever. And I'm like, this is gonna be weird because I think the older one's gonna shoot. He's gonna use the gun. So Saxon.
Who do you think he's gonna kill or shoot?
His brother.
Really?
I don't think it'll really be on purpose. But if you look at the like mural mosaic that they post, or whenever the trailer, or not the trailer, the song runs, and the name next to the picture, it can kind of see a little connection into things.
Okay.
In that video, the name for the younger brother, Lachlan, he's the one laying in the water in the theme intro.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But the rest of the episode, I was not surprised that the main girly in the girl group hooked up with the guy. I was like, I knew that was gonna happen from day one.
Yeah. She keeps like pushing for them to do things that she wants to do.
Yeah. Plus she was so like, my man's not talking to me. I'm not getting attention. I need attention immediately.
She needed the validation because she got really pissed off whenever they got sent to the like retirement vacation place, which I think was done on purpose because they knew that they would want to come back.
Yeah. I think those Russian guys did the robbery. I think that's the catalyst. That's the catalyst, obviously, for all of these things happening because the gun would never have been there if that robbery didn't happen. The Russian yogi guy is totally not a good guy, obviously. Yeah. But like in a more like sinister way, I think then he's come off to me because he's like hot and stuff. So
you think he's hot?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I
do. I remember having a crush on one of my chemistry lab TAs, and he was like Serbian, and I was just like, damn.
Did he look like that?
Oh, like kind of. They have like more like serious angled faces. And the dark hair, and he was like tall. I just remember being like, dang.
Yeah.
Beauty. He also didn't grade hard, so what are your thoughts of this past episode?
Okay, whenever the brothers kissed each other, I yelled, oh my God. Like twice.
I guess you're not used to HBO incest though, because you didn't watch Game of Thrones. It's just
yeah, like I'm not used to incest in general, so yeah.
The full frontal and incest is HBO's like trademark.
Okay, interesting. Okay, my one thing is I don't really get what they're trying to do with that.
That's why I think it's gonna throw the older brother completely off the rails.
But he was like he was like high. Like you think he's gonna remember, or don't you think he would have to like see proof or something, or like be to feel shameful about it?
I think that's going to be such a mind fuck for him that he's going to just like lose it or something. Like he's going to like feel really weird about it. I don't know. I could see it like him rationalizing how it would be like all his fault and him kind of like reacting. He's super uptight.
What? Oh, I just came up with a prediction.
Ooh, okay.
Who is the wellness guy that's been training the lady who came from the White Lotus before?
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
What if he, in protection of her, kills the bald guy?
I hate that bald guy. He's bad.
Because this guy's pretty unassuming. He's, you know, he's like the really zen, calm, quiet guy, but he's also like they're kind of having a little thing going on.
Last epi.
Yeah, they
Well,
have like a thing going on, and like she's the one that like they keep going back to, and like she's super uneasy every time, and she keeps trying to warn people about something, and like every time you go back to her, it's the same thing. She's uneasy, she's trying to figure something out. So I
yeah.
feel like that's not just gonna like disappear.
I hope
I
not.
think
That would be frustrating.
yeah.
Mm.
I didn't have a prediction before that just came to me.
Yeah, there's definitely because her son's the one running away from the shooting in the first episode.
Well, he actually kind of starts running towards the shooting at first, remember? Because he said he wants to protect his mom. Then he starts
Yeah,
like, yeah, then he starts going away.
yeah. I guess I meant reacting to that. Like that's who it was
Hmm.
focused on because you weren't sure who he was yet, and then
But I
obviously, like,
don't know who the dead person is.
I think it was the little brother. That's my thought. That's my prediction. I think it's the little brother. I don't think the dad is going to kill himself. I think the mom, Tsunami, is Tsunami. Probably knows way more than she's letting on. She's just.
Why are you saying tsunami?
You haven't seen that? Like the whole thing about like Parker Posey's accent? Like
Oh,
she's
but
like,
why are you not saying it in a southern
I don't
accent?
know. I couldn't.
You're
Thought I
southern,
was. I thought I was. It doesn't come out.
Katie.
Tsunami. Yeah, I just can't do it. Sorry. The
I
word's
was like,
Japanese.
you were saying it like almost a preppy voice. I was like, why do you keep saying it like that? I was like, does she think that's her name?
No, I just can't use my southern accent at all for that word or whatever.
That's funny.
But so I think the gun stays there. I don't think the guard gets it back. I think maybe the dancer girl that he has the crush on might be working with the Russian people, maybe. I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
trust her for some reason.
Oh, hold on. We missed talking about the guy that goes into Bangkok and meets
Oh,
up with that other guy.
oh, with Sam Rockwell.
The whole time I was watching that, I was like laughing about like how long the story was and like how it starts out with he's like, "Yeah, I don't drink or do drugs anymore." And the guy, you can tell that main guy, what's his name? Walter
Walton Goggins. Walton
Goggins.
Goggins, yeah.
He's like, you could tell he immediately is like disappointed. And then like the story goes there, you would never expect it. I thought it was
His
hilarious
eyes
that
get
like,
bigger and bigger. Like
and he has no idea what to say.
my mouth was just like,
I
what?
saw a meme that was like Uber drivers when gay guys are telling stories in the back seat. And it had his face.
I mean, I don't know. I think it was interesting. It was definitely beyond insane, that's where it all his thought process led to. But it's like, but where did he end up? He's a Buddhist now who's in a better version of himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Was that his journey to take in a weird self
Yeah.
realizing way? I think you can get to that point without doing all of those things too, you know? But
Another theory, sorry. I think I maybe had this, but I forgot about it. Do we think this Walter Goggins thing is just a dead end? Because they're really building it up like he's going to hurt somebody.
I don't think he's going to hurt anybody. I think he's not going to do it. Or because he was told that the owner of the hotel, like the husband, is the one who got his dad killed because he was an environmentalist or an anti.
That sounded like a weird story to me.
Yeah, it seems like a lie.
I could see something happening where he has to rush back. He finds something out that is unsafe at the hotel and he
Mhm.
rushes back to protect his girlfriend.
Yeah, I think he'll
And then
actually
a
like
shooting happens.
yeah be more open with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think like I don't say they're good for each other because they have like obviously a toxic relationship, but I think she pushes him a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
Hmm.
like her.
I do too.
I don't know if I like the other one though.
No, she seems bad.
Yeah, she's not good.
Oh, there's the weird employee. What if I was also like, this is what this stupid show does to you? I was like, what if he's working with the Russians? Because he's like
Probably.
also like really like dorky and weird. You're not like giving him any thought. You're like, there's no way he's tough. But then the way he was talking to her and making faces, I was like, he seems evil.
Yeah, he's not a good guy because anyone would be concerned.
Hmm. He didn't even offer her any sort of protection or safety.
Yeah, he was just like, no. And it's like, excuse me?
I'm so
Excuse
excited
me?
for next week.
Oh my God, I know. We do have 3 more episodes, so by the time this comes out, it'll be a little premature, but hopefully our predictions stay true. Wait, you need to tell us who you think is going to die. Because I said who I think I know at least my thought on who's going to die.
Who died in the first season?
The hotel manager guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we had an
And
employee and
and
we
the
had a
second
guest.
season was the gays and Jennifer Coolidge. He likes to put a lot of different reasons as to why people would want to be upset with the others. So, like, it's tricky. It's definitely not an easy guess, but
I really don't know. I'm trying to pick
one person.
someone.
Pick
I know
someone.
I'm
Or
trying.
pick the group. Who do you think the group is that's going to be like the shooter, the shootee?
Well, I'll just go for like a wild card. I'll say I think the daughter who wants to work at the wellness center. They did like a religious thing. I thought like a little religious tone whenever she was like in her room like praying or meditating was whenever they kept showing all the partying going on. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. Like maybe she thinks she's like above things and maybe they're gonna like the lesson's gonna be like, but she also lied about the trip. So I don't know, maybe she dies because she also like doesn't serve
She's
much
boring.
purpose. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
boring.
She's so selfish that she's uninteresting, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, definitely, it's definitely that Southern family. They're acting up.
Yeah.
After our White Lotus spoilers and predictions and everything, we figured we'd jump into some more spring associated topics. So, how sprung are you about spring, Carrah? I'm sprung. Are you sprung?
I I'm very sprung about spring. I think spring used to be my favorite season. It might still be my favorite or it's my second favorite. It's between summer and spring, but my birthday is in spring and things get pretty and green and bloom and the weather warms up. So I love spring.
I agree. Like, my favorite part of spring is it actually is getting warmer and daylight savings time goes back to the best sunlight hours. So I'm not in the deep
Yes.
winter dark depression hole that I feel a
Mhm.
lot of people probably are in. But the like very light color green of new leaves is one of like my favorite colors. Like I love it. It's so like I don't know, inspiring sounds dumb, but
That's
like
not.
it's not inspiring, but more like it's really mood boosting and growth and rebirth and moving on and new beginnings and all those
And
things. It just
afterbirth.
ew, no. 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 I mean, maybe, but no, no. Just green and new flowers and warm.
Mhm.
Like, it's the start of a great summer.
Something new.
Exactly.
But yeah, I have been feeling the itch to like clean out our closets and get rid of things. I've been thinking a lot about doing like you keep talking about these like clothing swap book events and I kind of want to host one. I think it would be cute to do for spring because there's lots of stuff I want to get rid of and it's like not bad. So maybe
I
other people would want it. And then we could just donate the rest.
think that's a great idea. Spring cleaning, like let's restart, you know? Get rid of all those plates and the dishes.
Plates? You mean like dishes?
Yeah, plates. Yeah.
I'm thinking about clothes.
No, well, I'm saying like the whole, like get rid of that ugly chair if you hate it. Get a new
Yeah.
chair, you know?
Yeah.
Um, it's do something new. Like I'm gonna be moving in with my boyfriend in the next month or so, so I will
Mm-hmm.
definitely be doing a lot of spring cleaning because I have to, otherwise I pay a fine.
Are you
So
getting rid of stuff though? Spring cleaning is getting rid of stuff, Katie, which I know you're
yeah,
not the biggest fan of.
I'm not the biggest fan of getting rid of sentimental things,
Or kitchen utensils.
but I can make most things be sentimental. So
Yeah.
I can
So
call it on myself. I'll be like, I feel really strongly about these spoons and just never get rid of
and
them. So
these 3 whisks.
I still have it. I still have that whisk.
What are you going to get rid of this time around?
Oh, well, outside just like condensing furniture and everything, I definitely will be getting rid of.
I knew it.
My stuff is the good stuff. I'm gonna keep my stuff.
For audio listeners, Katie just looked around her apartment looking for something to say she would get rid of, and there was nothing. That's okay.
I'm definitely been like obviously I read a lot. Haven't in minutes. Still stuck
Not
on
to
the Fort
brag.
Sumter book. Forever on the Fort Sumter book.
You're still reading that book?
I just haven't been reading it. Like I'm just.
I
It
don't think
makes me
you need to
sad.
read every page of a Fort Sumter book. That's like a lot.
I'll just put it on the back burner. But I decided to stop buying books and just use the library. Unless I really like it, then I'll buy it.
Hmm.
So I count that as spring cleaning.
I think yeah, that's definitely like spring cleaning and just a good choice.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get rid of some clothes. I'm usually pretty good about clothing donations. Don't have like a ton, but there's always something that's just like I don't need or want anymore.
Yeah.
I thought I did a good job like curating like stuff, so I just don't want to get rid of my stuff. I did donate a bunch of pots and pans that I don't need because I got some new ones. It's more like leveling up and getting rid of the stuff that's not
Yeah, yeah.
good too. So
Yeah, you're at the stage where it's like this time when you move, you don't want to pack up or move things that you're like, I don't really like this thing. I want a nicer version of this or something.
if it's not serving me, I don't want it or has like an emotional thing. Serving me. But I do have a lot of stuff, so we'll see.
If it's not serving looks, it's not coming.
The rocks all serve.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
What's your rock packing process look like?
You will see. The rock packing process is essentially I've saved all the boxes because you want to use small boxes because they're heavy. So you have a box of small boxes that you then offset with soft materials. So you'll pack like 3 or 4 rocks with a bunch of newspaper and foam and like styrofoam and stuff. Then you put them in a smaller box. Then you put like 5 or 6 of those boxes into another box.
Mm-hmm.
And you mail that box to me. I'm just kidding. And then you throw in like clothes or pillows or something to make it not 1 million pounds.
Yeah.
It's just sad to pack up, but it takes a long time. I always underestimate. I'm terrible with packing.
Well,
Every
and
time
you get more rocks every year, so it's taking longer and longer.
I know. It's just one of my burdens, but I am proud to bear it.
Well, I'm proud of you, Katie.
Oh, thank you. We're serving and growing like the spring buds. Also, I love the spring buds. That reminds me, the Denver Botanical Garden, which is one of my favorite things in this silly city, is going to be having more flowers and stuff in like April and May. So I'm excited.
Cute. Maybe we can go whenever I come because I think last time I was in Denver, we tried going there and they had just closed or something for the day.
Oh, that'd be cute. Yeah. It's super cute. It'll probably still be a little brown, but it's a cute botanical garden. Plus, I get free access.
Okay.
It's a date.
Did they give you a preview of what it looks like so that we know it's not brown before I pay to get in?
It's free. I'm a
Oh,
member.
would get in for free?
I have free plus one. I'm individual plus
Oh, okay, cool.
one. Yeah. Nothing lost.
Perfect.
Something gained.
This is starting to get a little like toxic positivity.
It's at the haunted graveyard. So,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Didn't you do a tour, like a haunted tour or no?
yes. Yeah, and I can go over the story when we get closer to Halloween, but the
I
haunted
want to go on like a haunted tour. I've never done that before.
I'm sure Atlanta has some crazy haunted stuff.
Oh, actually, yeah, I have been on a haunted tour. Well, I went on a cemetery tour. It wasn't really haunted.
Where?
Oakland Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
They do a really cool thing where they have like actors of the dead people at their tombstone. So you go on like a walking tour.
I'm picturing like someone just writing sitting next to a tomb of a writer or something. Oh,
Yes.
really? That's it?
Yes. So like you go, like you walk, and then like they have someone set up with like a headset and like they have like a little kind of set. It's not like a lot, but they'll have like a desk, or like if someone was a bartender, they have like a bar set up. And then they talk about their life as if they're them. And like they're
Are
a
these,
little engaging with the audience.
are these like normal people or are they famous
They're
people?
actors.
Well, yes, but the people they're acting about, Jesus.
What do you mean, are they normal
like,
people?
like, is it just like, oh, this person was a bartender, or is he the bartender of
They'd be
whatever?
like, this is so and so,
Yeah, but is he a
born in
famous
this.
person, or is he just a random guy?
Katie, okay. You think that if you're not in Hollywood, your life didn't
I didn't,
matter?
I didn't say that. I mean, like,
You're like,
is
okay, but
this
was he
the guy?
hot?
No, I didn't say hot. I said, is this the guy who's like, he invented the margarita? That's why we're
Yeah.
showcasing these grapes.
They actually have the guy who invented the Singapore sling was buried at Oakland Cemetery.
Okay, so that's what I was asking.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, god damn it.
Why would you believe that? Oh my God. I thought you were in on the Singapore sling joke with Brooks.
I think maybe I was, but not really. I thought I was.
No, they have like people, they're not like famous, but like important people in the community, or like people who were business owners, or I think they had some woman who was like maybe the first Black female attorney in Atlanta or
Cool.
something. I'm
Okay.
probably butchering, maybe I don't know if it was attorney or not.
So they turn the people. Okay, I was being way too harsh. It sounds like.
Yeah, you were
I
being a
think I was
little
thinking like one of those like other graves where everyone's like
you
insane.
need to
But I
check
guess
your privilege
oh my gosh,
at the door next
everyone's
time we start this podcast.
everyone's important. So maybe one day they'll do this about me.
Yeah, everything's about you, Katie.
No,
No, I'm
no,
just kidding. I'm just
us.
kidding.
It's like these two were buried next to each other. They were podcasting into their 80s.
Oh man.
Spring cleaning. Get rid of those bad thoughts. Too. Okay, y'all. So we figured we would talk about one of the most infamous spring associated events, spring break. So me and Carrah had the lovely opportunity to go to Panama City Beach, Florida in 2013 with
I think that was 2012.
no, it wasn't. I have a shirt that says 2K13 because you
Okay.
turned 21 halfway through the trip.
You're like, no, I have an airbrush tank top that says Spring Break 2K13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It's not airbrushed, but it's like hashtag swag. I'll pull it out.
Okay,
It's
that's
great.
better.
It's a great tank top. I've always kept it because it always makes me giggle.
I'm
But
gonna post the group pic.
yes, there's so many. We figured we would do a little quick trip down memory lane of our infamous PCB 2K13 spring break trip that we did together. For reference, I was 21, Carrah was about to turn 21, so it was in our little college party girl phase. As much as you can do in Clemson.
Yeah. It was definitely like our most irresponsible phase, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
I would
not you.
no, that was more in 25.
Yeah.
Maybe you.
Yeah.
But we were responsible with not drinking underage. Sort of. We were kind of good. But anyways, we had some mutual friends who were booked a hotel. I think it was a Days Inn in Panama City Beach, not near the high rises, but a little bit north. And we ended up booking similar rooms with them. It was you, me, Catherine, Josh, and Jaime, right? All in one room. We drove the 8 hours there, got to the hotel, found all of our friends. Turns out some of our other friends, Jay and Joseph, weren't they at that same hotel too?
I think they were at a different hotel, but Jay walked to our hotel the day that we got there and he had already lost his wallet with his ID in it and his cards. And I think maybe his phone broke or he lost his phone too. They got there like a day or two before us. And it was funny because I think he was supposed to go to like
somewhere else in Florida.
No, he was
right?
supposed to go to like an Akon concert or like a Lil Jon concert, some concert with all his friends, and then he realized he didn't have his ID, so he couldn't get in.
So that's how he hung out with us a little bit.
Not to put your business out there, Jay, but
that hotel ended up being one of the like they had some like concerts and like it was a party hotel before PCB immediately shut down all spring break activity.
I think this was the last year that you could like drink on the beach, and it was just like one of those really trashy spring breaks. So it was just like perfect for us.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what we wanted. The like the classic spring break movie.
Yeah.
Like it was a movie.
Yeah.
I remember you got severely sunburned like the second day.
Yes. I remember that too. And I remember every time I look at the pictures, very sunburnt. I'm trying to think of other stories that
was the time
that we're allowed to tell on the pod. We can't tell everything.
Yes. I can premise that this was the time when me and my ex Lob started hanging out. So you got that whole like, oh my God, are they like, oh my God, they're talking to each other. Oh my God, they're sitting next to each other on the cooler.
For some reason, I feel like you guys were already dating at that point, but I guess that makes sense. This is when you guys
weren't. That's when it like, I think we like hooked up or something before then, but that's when it like actually started.
There's the infamous time when Brian dropped. Did he drop his wings on the floor? We were at Hooters and he dropped stuff. He dropped some like a burger or something like fully on the floor right in front of our waitress. And then he just like picked it right back up and started eating it.
And Joe got an airbrush shirt of two people kissing. And
Yeah.
it said Joe and random chick.
Yeah. That was pretty iconic. We had like all those Natty Light headbands. Do you remember those? Like the sweatbands?
And we were across from Taco Bell, so every like day someone would go get one of those like 24 packs. And I remember walking into the room and Joe was passed out with a giant 24 pack like all to himself.
Yeah. And we were dropping tacos and beer from the room like a couple floors above. But that was funny. I turned 21 on this trip. Mm-hmm. So that was really exciting for me. I couldn't go to any bars. Well, they probably had.
You had to pay covers.
Yeah, that's what it was. They had
like you and one of our other friends were underage.
Yeah.
So y'all had to pay like an ass ton of money to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we just gave y'all drinks, obviously. Sorry, we don't promote that. That was silly.
Yeah, that was really abnormal of us. Katie gets really nervous about us breaking the law on this podcast for some reason.
Liability. We have a presence.
It is not our responsibility if someone decides to do something like that.
I remember that we went to a foam party and a paint party.
Mm-hmm.
I think Joe did a foam angel on the floor.
Didn't he get pink eye?
We all. I don't think he got. No, I think we all got.
Like, I swear.
Beer strep throat or something.
I do remember we all got sick, but I don't think I was deep in the foam like that. I swear someone got like pink eye from the foam party. Our group, we probably had like, what would you say, like 15 people? So it was really fun. We played putt putt. That was
You
really
left putt
fun.
putt because you hate putt putt.
I love putt putt, but not for 2 hours and not when I'm 21 and I'm on spring break and I would like to have a couple beveraginos.
Do you remember when we lost Brian because we thought he was at Shucky's when we were at Sharky's
Sharkies.
and no
Oh
one
yeah.
knew what he was saying?
There
It's like
was yeah.
Shucky's, and he's like Shucky's, and we're like, where are you?
Yeah.
No one could find him. He was like one bar over.
It's so funny you say that because Ryan's cousin, who's in college at Alabama, just went to spring break in PCB, and she posted a picture and is holding like a cup or something that says Sharkies on it. And I thought of
Tender.
this.
Tender.
Yeah.
Man.
But then, do you remember how the trip ended? My grandpa died.
Oh.
Not to laugh. I'm laughing because
Sorry.
it's a big switch of topics. But it was like the best spring break of my life. And then like we're at like this paint party and then my brother called me and he's like, Grandpa died. And I was like, what? And then I was like super upset. But yeah, so the trip was really fun. And then my grandpa died and we all drove back together and it was really depressing. But everyone was very sweet. I'm sorry that probably ruined the vibe a little bit. But everyone was very supportive and sweet, and
it was the last day, so
yeah, it was the last day. I was like, damn, yeah, he didn't call me. He usually called me every birthday.
Oh.
But R.I.P. Grandpa Lingo.
Yes.
Shout out.
In memoriam.
In memoriam.
Is in memoriam.
We'll do we'll do a little in memoriam post. But yeah, so let's talk about some listener submissions that we got.
Yes. All things spring break. We want to hear about yours, your favorite ones, favorite memes.
So I'll share one. We don't have enough time, so I'm not going to share like my perspective of it. But Akivian, one of my good friends from Clemson, went to Vegas with me for my 22nd birthday. One of my best friends was living out there, and then my other best friend was going to meet us out there. And just a little context, like Akivian was like a little angel baby, like had not been exposed to much and like didn't drink, very innocent, especially at this age. And I was going to stay with one of my like wildest friends, and my other wild friend was meeting me there. Like when I say wild, I mean wild. And so this was his review of the trip. Okay. He said, it was the most type B trip I've ever been on. Literally nothing went to plan. It was supposed to be a weekend in Vegas that spontaneously turned into a road trip to California and then a boat ride to Catalina. I enjoyed meeting some of Carrah's family members, RIP Uncle Junior and What's Up Matt. I enjoyed getting stuck on the Vegas Strip, then meeting up with a local, quote, tour guide from Tinder. And of course, the climax of the trip, the plane incident on the way home. Remember what happens in Vegas, and then the shush emoji. The vibes were overall immaculate. I think I hold the trip so near and dear to my heart because it was my farthest trip away from home and because it really solidified our friendship as it was the first trip of many that we took together.
Aw, that's so tender.
I know, it was really cute because it was a crazy trip.
But you gotta tell us what's that plane incident? Can't leave us hanging.
The plane incident was I almost did not make my flight home. Probably slept an hour or something and woke up and had to get on that plane. And
hungover or still drunk, I'm guessing.
Definitely still drunk. And the day before, I barely ate anything and drank so much because girls in Vegas drink for free, like at most clubs and stuff. So like we were going to all these clubs and for free drinks. And I didn't have like any money. I spent like all of my money on this trip. So when we got to the airport the next morning, I didn't have enough money to buy food. or I had enough money to buy like an appetizer. Like I think I was a server at a country club at the time, and I remember checking my bank account and my paycheck did not drop and I thought it was going to. So I only had enough money to get like an appetizer. And then I got it and I hated it. So I didn't really eat it. So then we get on the plane. I'm sitting like either in a window or a middle seat, and a Kiwian is to my right on the aisle. And the plane starts to take off, and I'm like, you know how you're not supposed to like lay your head on the tray? I had to because I started getting like really hot and feeling like weird, like really weird. And like I've flown a lot, like I flew a lot as a kid. So like it's not like I've ever really been sick from takeoff or anything. And so then I feel like I'm going to throw up. So I get up and I'm like, excuse me, Kivian, like I need to go to the bathroom while the plane is like taking off because it felt like that much of an emergency. And I
You
remember
have those little
taking,
bags in the seats.
I don't think
They don't have that?
there had to be a reason that I got up. I don't think it was there.
Okay.
And so I get up and I take like one or two steps and then I passed out in the aisle of the plane and I woke up to like people over me like, "Can you hear me? Like, are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh my god, what?" And then I get up and then they sit me in like a different seat that like another pilot had been sitting in, and I'm like barely alive and I have like a water in one hand and an orange juice in the other, like balancing on my legs. And I'm just sitting there. And when we land, everyone who gets off the plane and walks past me is like, "Oh my God, I hope you're okay. Like, take care of yourself." Like, so concerned for me. And like,
Cute.
it was sweet, but it was humiliating. And then when we got off the plane, we were even like walking like through the airport and people would come up to me and they're like, "Oh, like we were on your flight, like when you fell, like, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, thanks."
You're like,
And
stop.
yeah.
Bitch.
And now I remember I was in the middle seat because the like infamous line from this story was that a Kiwian told me that after I like collapsed in the aisle, the guy next to him was like, he was like, "Some people just can't handle Vegas," after I fell. And so like
Oh, he's cool.
that is like the story. That feels like a lifetime ago.
It kind of was, I
It
think, but
really was.
what a great mem.
Yeah. Okay, let me find the story.
One year we went to Florida and it was my brother's senior spring break. And as we were getting in the car, to leave to drive from from Florida to Michigan, I got my period for the first time and it was horrendous and we had to stop like every hour on the way home. And I just remember there being like blood literally everywhere. So that was a really fun memory.
Okay, that's one.
Oh my gosh.
And then another year, we went with my brothers. Actually, I guess it was the same year. We went with like a group of my brother's friends for his senior spring break. And I was trying to be like really cool and mature, but I was, I think, 14. And so one night there was like 8 families and we were all staying at one house and there was like a giant hot tub in the backyard. And all the boys were like drinking beer. And so I was like, oh yeah, like I drink beer too. And my brother was like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So I like started drinking a Natty Light and I was starting to feel like really, really sick. And they were passing around a cigar. So I took like a hit of the cigar and projectile vomited so like gallons of puke into the hot tub all over everybody.
Oh,
And
no.
it was really embarrassing. And it was on night 2. And then I had to like live in shame the whole time.
Isn't that so embarrassing?
Oh my god, I would die. I would die.
Yeah.
Oh, Emma. No.
I know, I know. And that's like such a good classic like sibling embarrasses themselves in front of like their other sibling and their friends. I love it. And then she shared another one. I think this one is the best one.
And then in high school, I think I was a sophomore, my best friend and I went on like this group trip to Guatemala. And there was one of the leaders, we absolutely despised her. Like, she was so, I mean, she probably wasn't that evil. We were probably just being mean. But she was just annoying and we like hated her. So we like fucked with her the whole trip. And we were in these little huts and everybody had their own bathroom. And one night we all three went and took like huge shits in her bathroom. And it wasn't like, it was like a compostable toilet. So you're supposed to like cover it up with sawdust, but we just like left these huge shits in her room. And then we like started, we were like at this villa and there were like tons of centipedes everywhere. And we started collecting these centipedes and we put them in her bed, which like that is so mean. But we put them in her bed and then there's one more thing that we did. Oh, we were camping like up like in this like rural forest. Wait, rural isn't the word. In this like jungle. And we were hiking up, and the whole way up, every time we stopped, we would like put rocks in her backpack. And then we like got yelled at. And then we did the same thing on the way down and kept putting rocks in her backpack. And she was the worst.
I mean, I would be too if there were people doing that shit to me.
Oh my God. Yeah. Horrible.
Oh,
We don't
no.
condone bullying, but make for great stories. Hopefully
It really does.
hopefully she's okay.
She probably quit after that and was like, I'm doing literally anything else.
Probably. I thought those were really good.
Oh yeah, those were great. Thank you, Emma and Keeping, and we appreciate it. Those were great.
Yeah, shout out Emma. Emma has a podcast called 10 Questions with Emma.
Ooh, okay.
It might be on a little hiatus, but you can follow her on Instagram.
Thank y'all so much for joining our lovely little spring chat. All things White Lotus, spring vibes, and spring breaks. Hopefully some of y'all are doing something wild this year for spring break. You should tell us if you are. But I know most of us are not in college, so it's not really a thing anymore.
You can still do things that are wild when you're not in college.
I know, but like I'm not going to Fort Lauderdale for a week in March.
Why not?
I mean, I could.
Why not?
Maybe I should. I have.
Yeah, maybe you should. Bring back adult spring breaks. Actually, were those ever a thing?
I mean, I think those are just vacations. Just want to get on a beach, want to go to a foam party, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And go to Hooters and play putt-putt.
But anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Please follow us at Life in the Party Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and Life in the Party on YouTube.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. I don't know if we officially announced that in an episode, but we're uploading YouTube videos every week. So in case you don't listen to every episode, we need to announce it in every episode.
Come watch us talk versus just listening to us talk.
Yeah, stare at us while we're talking. If you know us, if you're not creepy.
I mean, we won't know though, so it's our little secret. Or your little secret.
Ew, okay. I'm not giving permission for that. Okay, this is supposed to be a close. Thank you. We love you. Happy spring.
Bye.
Bye.